everyone, and welcome back to Sundays in the Garden. The sun is shining, it's March, and everything is about to kick off, and I am so excited. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sarah, and this year I am sharing every single day of a gardener's year. The majority of those days are filmed here in my cottage garden or kitchen garden. If I'm not here, I'll be sharing where I am in the country. I've got something really exciting coming up later in the year that I'll share with you when I'm able to, but lots of exciting garden related content coming up in 2025. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I would love for you to subscribe so you can follow along and see everything that is going on in this garden and beyond in 2025. Now that we're into March, all of the seed sowing and preparation is really kicking off for the new growing season. So today I think I'm going to be making some more seed sowings, as well as maybe having an attempt at starting to clean this greenhouse. It's a big job. I'm not going to get it all done in one day, but I'll take it section by section and see how much I can get cleared over the next few weeks. So I'll stop waffling on. We're in March. There is no time for waffling. I need to get going. Let's go.
Funny little chips are coming off the outside. Oh.
Oh dear. As we tried to remove the panel for cleaning, it broke. Not to be deterred, I continued to clean the remaining panels without removing them, knowing that I'd have to pop inside once I'd finished and order a replacement for the one that was broken. Then I patch repaired the area with some bubble wrap and tape. And then I moved on to sowing some seeds. The wonderful Algae at the Right Pear plot sent me a whole variety of wonderful tomato seeds to try, so I got them in the soil and took them inside to germinate. Hi guys, happy Monday. I'm very pleased to report it's still very warm in here despite yesterday's accident, and I've got some replacement glass on the way for the section that has been damaged, so that is really good. Today I've got my 15 minutes again, so it's March. What else am I going to do except sow some more seeds? I've got a pocket full of seeds. Let's see what I can get sown in the next 15 minutes. Okay, so in my pocket I've got sunflowers, a couple of different varieties. I've got perpetual spinach, I've got cucumber, I've got verbena, basil, broccoli, cabbage, and 3 different varieties of lettuce. I'm thinking ahead to the plant sale, anything that I'm going to want to be able to sell at the Marie Curie plant sale that we have in a few weeks' time. I want to start now to give them a bit of a head start so people aren't buying super tiny things. Not that they're going to get huge in the next few weeks, but I want to get them going as soon as possible. So I've got lots of these biodegradable pots, so I'm going to plant lots of the seedlings that I'm hoping to sell into those, and then I can just sell them along with the pots to the people at the plant sale in a few weeks' time. Let me know in the comments what you do with your additional seedlings. Do you sell them? Do you give them away to family and friends? How do you cope when you end up with lots and lots of seedlings and not enough space? So that's the broccoli started, and I'm going to go back down to the house now because I've had just over 10 minutes, so I haven't really got time to start anymore. These are the ones I'm going to try and get through this week so that they are all started for the plant sale in a few weeks' time. I'll take you back down to the house and show you the progress of all the other seedlings I have sown so far. So these are the chilies, and they are looking really healthy. Lots of them starting to get true leaves now and getting really big and strong. Also, we have some aubergines in here looking good, and some red bell peppers as well. Then moving up here to the leeks, they are looking rather sorry for themselves, so need potting on as soon as possible. And we have between 80 and 90 tomato seedlings in here, also looking great but in need of individual potting on. And finally the cosmos just starting to poke through the surface. Hello everyone, it's Tuesday. I have actually got a bit longer today. I've got nearly 40 minutes and I'm going to see if I can sow some more of the seeds that I want to get done this week. So I'm going to do a speed sow, not talk too much, film and see where I'm up to at the end. Okay, it's now 5 minutes before I need to be back inside, so I'm going to leave it there, tidy up and get all of these inside to fingers crossed germinate over the next few weeks. Later that evening, the new glass panel arrived for the greenhouse. I removed the old broken panel and then fitted the shiny new one. It was lovely to see the repair completed within the week. On Wednesday, time was very limited, so I just spent 15 minutes sowing these Titan sunflower seeds, as well as some Nigella seeds in the variety Moody Blues. Just spending 15 minutes getting these jobs done really adds up over the course of the week. Then I thought I'd show you the progress of the Resolver spray versus the vinegar and water spray on our fence panels. As you can see, the results here are actually very similar, and perhaps even the vinegar and water on the right has done better than the Resolver, so definitely worth going for the natural method when spraying fence panels. The vinegar didn't do so well on the patio slabs, as the Resolver on the left here cleared it, whereas on the right the algae remained. And this was the same on the pots, where on the left-hand side the Resolver cleared the algae and on the right it did not. So Resolver was the winner in this scenario. An interesting experiment. Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Today is World Book Day, so any parents out there or grandparents, I hope your young people had fun celebrating World Book Day and getting the costumes together. It wasn't too challenging. My two little boys just wore some pyjama tops that had James and the Giant Peach on, and then we went to a local book club and shared lots of book related activities. So we had a lovely afternoon. So it's not my normal lunchtime in the garden for 15 minutes. I am out here and it is now after 4 o'clock, so the sun is going down. It's getting a bit colder, but it is still pretty warm. We've had some really lovely warm weather this last week. So 3 guesses what I'm going to be doing today: sowing some more seeds. I'm starting to feel the pressure slightly now of the plug plant sale we've got coming up for charity, wanting to make sure I've got enough things on the drive to be offering people who we invite, because I don't want everyone to get here and everything to go super quickly. Also want to make sure I've got a good mix of flowers and vegetables. So I'm sowing a couple more flowers today. Number 1 being larkspur, and also some verbena as well. And then I am also going to sow some of this purple kale, just because I think it's a bit of a unusual looking kale, being scarlet. They call it scarlet kale, but it's like the purpley colour. I think it'll add some nice additional colour up in the vegetable patch here, and something a bit interesting for the sale as well. Also, I've got an exciting delivery coming tomorrow of some clips for the greenhouse to then put up my bubble wrap for the year to keep it nice and warm in here, so I can bring a lot of the seedlings that are in the house at the moment out here to continue growing on, because I know the weather's going cold again next week. So I'm hoping that the bubble wrap will help keep things sufficiently warm enough in here just to keep the seedlings that I've got going so far going okay. My long-term viewers who've been watching for a while, I'm going to start having a monthly garden tour video come back out again, probably at the end of each month. So that will come out end of March, the first one, and then try and do that through until at least September or something when things start to quieten down, because I found it really useful to look back over my garden tours from last year, which I was doing every single month, just to see where the garden was in March this time last year. Very similar actually, but by the end of the month we had frogs back in the pond, newts back in the pond, lots of daffodils out and things. So we've only got a couple of weeks and I think this garden's going to look a lot different to what it does now. So I will be bringing out my garden tour videos again as an additional to my Sunday videos. Okay, I've just been having a root round at the back of the greenhouse and I found these old plug plant trays. I've got 2 of this size with the 12 cells and this one with the 6 cells. So I think I'm going to put 2 kale seeds in each of these, and then an individual seed of the larkspur and the verbena in these, and see if I can get some germination. And then I can always transfer them out, or perhaps people will want to take the whole lot on the plant sale. We'll find out. So that is the kale, the larkspur and the verbena sown into these 3 trays. I'm going to take them inside, put them somewhere warm, and fingers crossed we'll have some to sell at our plant sale. Okay guys, so out there is the area that you normally see where I've got all of the seedlings I started off a long time ago, and they're all starting to do really well, get quite strong, but the greenhouse is not quite ready for them yet. And then in here, which is a much darker space, it's my utility room, we have a situation. Yeah. Whew. So that's the Instagram versus reality of it all for you, because I just haven't got the space out there for all of these. So what I need to do is get the bubble wrap up in the greenhouse, probably tomorrow, because it hasn't arrived yet, the new one that I've added. I've got some already, but I need a little bit more. So I need to get all of that here, put it up in the greenhouse, and then I can move some of the stuff that's out there into the greenhouse, and then this stuff can start to move itself out to there, so we can have like a conveyor belt system. I haven't actually at the moment got too many more seeds to sow, thankfully, and the reason the situation is so bad this year compared to normal is because we're having our plug plant sale for charity, so I have sowed a lot more than I would normally be sowing, and I don't really have the space for it, as is quite evident. So I will have to think about this for next year if we do something similar, because we definitely need some more warm indoor growing space if we're going to do this again. But yes, wanted to share it with you because sometimes things always look perfect on other people's YouTubes or Instagrams, but this is definitely not a perfect situation going on in here. We are making do, and fingers crossed as many of these things as possible can survive. So for my 15 minutes this Friday, it was mission rescue the poor leeks. They weren't looking great, but when I pulled them out of the tray, they did have a decent root system on them, so I'm hopeful that they may continue to grow on now that I'm potting them on. They are looking rather sorry for themselves though, so we'll have to wait and see. Hello everyone and happy Saturday. We are enjoying the most beautiful spring-like weather here, and I am going to make the most of it and get this greenhouse all sorted, ready to welcome all of the plants that I've got in the house at the moment. So I've got some of these clips here, greenhouse clips, which I'm going to use around the greenhouse to secure in the bubble wrap to bring the temperatures up in here. It's lovely and warm at the moment, but the forecast for next week is much cooler, and I need to get some of those seedlings that have been in my house out here to make space for some more that are coming. So enough waffling, let's get on with it. These are just some spare bits that came in some packing that my husband had this week, so I'll start with that one. It saves me having to cut it at all. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll probably work better. I don't know if I've got enough bubble wrap to do the whole greenhouse, but I'm going to work along this side and along the roof section, and then go along this side, probably the roof on this side and this section, and just kind of work my way around and see how much I've got and how much I'm able to cover. Fingers crossed we can cover a decent amount. These clips were recommended by Steph's Allotment, and they are brilliant, and they work if your greenhouse has these little sections where they can just slot in. They look like this. See that on there? A flat edge which you can put in and then just twist, and they'll hold things in place. Absolutely brilliant. Can be used year on year. They are plastic, but you can use them year on year, same as the bubble wrap. You can fold it up and use it every year. That's another one in. So I'll leave you there and bring you back when I have used all of the bubble wrap and see how much I've managed to cover. Hello! Just over an hour later, and the temperature in the greenhouse has reached nearly 30 degrees. So this is definitely doing its work. Let me show you around and show you how much I've managed to cover. Okay, so I've managed to get either side of the door covered. We ran out of clips, so I ended up using some masking tape in a few areas. But most of the sides are covered. I've left a little gap at the bottom because I ran out and I thought it's better to go into other areas, but most of the roof is covered up here. And I've left the window uncovered so that I can let air in. And then the back section is not covered. And then this side, the roof is covered and the sides are covered and this is covered. And yes, like I say, the temperature has gone up hugely in here, so much so that I'm going to open the door for a little while so that things don't get too hot. And then this afternoon I'm going to bring my tomatoes up here and pot them all on into individual pots ready for the plant sale. Okay, I've had my lunch, so now it's time to pot on these tomatoes. You see the little roots in there? Doing really well. Let's pop you in here. And then we'll just take some of the compost you were already in, pop it around you, try and keep you central. Right, I'm going to get on with this job now, and I'll catch up with you again when I've got as many done as I can. Okay guys, I've been out here for a good couple of hours now, and I've got a lot potted on, and there's still a few to go. I'll show you where I'm up to. So we've got loads potted on over here, all individually labelled. I think 25, about 40 in this one, and I think about 30 in this one. So I've got about 70 tomato seedlings potted on. A few more in here. These are the ones I'm going to keep. So I've got one of each variety I'm keeping. These are the broccolis, which I will be individually labelling, but they're all the same in there. I've got some more tomatoes over here. That's just empty at the moment. And then down here we have just a few more tomato seedlings to plant on in the next day or so, hopefully tomorrow. So that's pretty good. I'm going to take the other seedlings that have been basking in the sun today back inside, the chilies and the tiny little marigolds and the tiny cosmos, just because they're so small. I'm hoping the broccoli, despite being small, will be okay because they're more of a winter type crop. And we're keeping our fingers crossed for the tomatoes because they're all out here now, bless them. But I am just running out of space inside, and I can't possibly take all of these back inside unless there's an emergency. So I will come back tomorrow morning and the next morning and check on them every single day and hope for the best. Thank you all so much for sharing my gardener's year. If you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time.